Competency-based training, or CBT, is a training delivery approach that focuses on the competency development of the learner as a result of the training. Competency-based training emphasizes on what the learner can actually do. It also focuses on outcomes rather than the learning process within a specified time. It concerned with the attainment and application of knowledge, skills, and attitude to a specific level of competency. Here are the 10 principles of competency-based training. Principle 1. The training is based on curriculum developed from the competency standards. The trainer should be aware that all training activities are done towards the attainment of the assessment criteria set in the competency-based curriculum. Principle 2. Learning is modular in its structure. Once competency is generally considered as one module, learning is modular in its instruction. A trainee should be competent in the module currently being trained before going to the other competency. Competency-based learning materials are prepared per competency, which shall serve as the main material and guide in the training. Information in the attainment of knowledge and skills are provided in the CBLM. In case other training materials such as videos, computer-based learning materials, and other references are needed, the CBLM usually gives direction on how these materials can be accessed and used. Principle 3. Training delivery is learner-centered and should accommodate individualized and self-paced learning strategies. Trainees are treated as individual learners with different characteristics, learning styles, and training needs. The session should therefore provide for varied activities employing different methods of training. Considering that trainees are being trained simultaneously on different competencies, activities should always allow trainees to work independently or in small groups with minimum supervision. Learning materials should provide for self-evaluation or peer evaluation so that immediate feedback on the performance of each trainee is sought for in every learning activity. Answer keys, model answers, and performance criteria checklists are very important tools to attain these objectives. Principle 4. Training is based on work that must be performed. Training is always based on actual industry practices, and training should provide for a simulated work environment. Principle 5. Training materials are directly related to the competency standards and curriculum modules. So the competency-based learning materials used during the training should conform to the competency-based curriculum and the competency standards. The trainer should always check his session plans and CBLMs to make sure that all assessment criteria are attained. The competency standards always provide the minimum requirements of the competency. A trainer should always aim for the attainment of every criteria, and enhancements are also encouraged. Principle 6. Assessment is based on the collection of evidence of the performance of work to the industry-required standard. Assessment is done to test whether the trainee is able to perform the job based on the required criteria and the competency standards. This should be done before a trainee can advance to another competency. A carefully prepared institutional evaluation tool should be used to assess the competency of the trainee. In CBT, grades are not the basis of his competency. It is based on the satisfaction of the creative or evidences in which are collected through an institutional competency evaluation. Principle 7. Training is based both on and off the job components. Training is done in a simulated work environment or the laboratory and or in an actual work environment such as in training production, enterprise-based training, supervised industry training, and on-the-job training. Principle 8. Training program allows for recognition of prior learning or RPL or current competencies. Current competencies acquired through training or work experience are recognized before training through a validation process so that the trainer can recognize or provide activities that match the learning level of each trainee. prior learning is recognized by giving them a certificate of achievement for the competencies acquired previously. Data on other acquired skills should be carefully recorded to serve as data for planning the training activities for a particular trainee. A trainee who has prior experience as a janitor but is not yet competent in providing or housekeeping services to guests, for example, may not practice how to use cleaning equipment anymore but would concentrate on other activities that would help him satisfy the assessment criteria of the competency. This would shorten the training hours of the particular trainee. Principle 9. Training allows for multiple entry and exit. Trainees do not need to wait for others to be competent before he can exit either a competency or the qualification. Fast learners may be graduate faster than others. Principle 10. Training programs are registered with the UTPRAS. All programs should be registered to the Unified Tibet Program Registrations and Accreditation System. UTPRAS registration assures the quality of training.